Welcome to the Indie Author Roadmap, the podcast for new and aspiring indie authors.
We're your hosts, Rachel and Rob, here to help guide you on your writing journey.
Join us each episode as we share tips, insights and practical advice to help you take the next steps towards becoming a successful indie author.
Whether you're working on your first book, navigating self-publishing, or looking to connect with fellow indie authors, this is a place for you.
So grab your notebook, settle in, and let's hit the road to your publishing dreams.
Because right in the end is just the beginning.
Hi and welcome to the Indie Author Roadmap. I am Rachel Morton, and you are?
I'm Rob Radcliffe. Welcome. Episode 2.
Episode 2.
And what are we going to be talking about today?
This is you trying to make me talk. Thriving in 25 with our writing. Just turn it off.
Okay, and how's your week been this week?
Rubbish, because I've been unwell. That's why I look like crap. I've had that cold that I was starting with when we recorded the other day kicked off.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, and I've just been down with that. So I've done about 4,000 words, which is really rubbish for me.
Right.
Yeah, but I did win Nano.
You won it.
Yeah.
But you win it in the first 5 days or something anyway?
Yeah. But I wrote so for the month I wrote 73,000 words.
Right. For anyone who doesn't know what NaNoWriMo is, it's National Novel Writing Month, and it's from the 1st of December to the 30th, and it's basically write 50,000 words in that month.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they have it that you can set yourself a NaNoWriMo every single month instead of just waiting for the November.
Is that what they've done?
Yeah, they've opened it up now so you can just go in 1st of every month, set a challenge for the month, and you can nano all year, which is great. So
they're probably sick of twiddling the thumbs for 11 months of the year. They've got nothing to do.
No, you can nano every month.
Yeah, I did it last year, and I think I did about 83 because when I started it as well last year, I was doing like 4,000 or 5,000 words a day, and it's gone then. It's done. That 50,000. I think I hit 50,000 words on like day 18 or something like that. You know.
This was my 20th year doing it when they did the official one.
It's been going for that long?
So it's going for 25, I think. I think that's when it started. And funny enough, it was literally started for something very similar to our Thrive for 25. It was just about getting your backside in the chair and writing.
Yeah. And that's why it's so great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just getting that momentum, but keeping it afterwards as well. And today we're going to be talking about Thrive, our little thing called Thrive for 25.
Yeah.
And you're going to do more talking.
And it's a good job we didn't do this last year, because what would we have put if it was for 24? More for 24?
More for 24, yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually walking the dog the other day going, what rhymes with 26? Writing tricks for 26, and I was mumbling to myself on the field yesterday. But yeah, fortunately this year it rhymes. Thrive and 25 rhyme, so we're doing it. And what is Thrive for 25, Rachel?
It's thriving in 25. But you had the idea of it was writing for 25 minutes every single day, because you did the maths, didn't you? That if you wrote,
I did do the maths.
500 words in 25 minutes every single day for the year. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I've done writing sprints, like half-hour writing sprints, I usually get about 700 words in. So I thought, well, if I just make it to 500, a nice round number 500 in 25 minutes, it is. Let me find my maths. It's in my little notes here.
Just short of 200,000 words, isn't it?
Yeah, there we go. 500 words in 25 minutes times 365 days is 182,500 words a year, which is 290,000 word novels for 25 minutes. You spend 25 minutes having a brew, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. You'll scroll. How much time do you scroll on your phone?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you look at, just take some time off that, right?
Yeah, you just put aside 25 minutes. I mean, if needs be, if you don't have that, just take your phone to the toilet.
Yeah.
And if if it's that time of the morning, just do it there.
There's some author that I've read literally does type on his phone, and he does that kind of thing, and I can't think who it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so book wise having a shit.
But no, it's just like literally when, because you whip out your phone in all the different places, like when you stood at the supermarket or when you're on the loo or whatever, you just always whipping your phone out. So he always used to have it on the notes app and he would just write. And I can't remember who it is, but it is an indie author.
I've started using my phone a bit more. With this new Apple update, you get a journal app which just appeared in the just on my homepage on my phone, and that's what it is. It's basically notes, but it's password protected and stuff. Why I don't know, but I've started writing just bits when I'm waiting for a train or whatever. Just little notes or bits of scenes, and it does help.
Yeah, definitely. I think because I don't know about you, but like last week because I was not well, I had 3 days off. I just didn't write because I was, just every time I sat at my desk, I was just staring because my brain wasn't braining. And then yesterday, when I went to sit down and write, it'd only been 3 days. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and it took me yesterday to get back to be able to write today. So I don't know if you get that. If you have a break.
But I'm very on and off with my writing anyway. If I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone, and there's nothing else I can think about, even when I'm not writing. And that's where I love to be. Although I think when I'm sat in the kitchen, staring out of the window, dribbling, the missus is worrying about me a little bit. But it's where I like to be, and I'm excited about coming down every morning and getting the words down. And then when I'm not writing, I'm just beating myself up, wishing I was writing, but I'm not writing, and it's kind of like I'm either not doing the thing and then beat myself up all the time, or I'm completely focused and 100%, which is where I like to.
Do you get grumpy if you're not writing? When you're in the zone, when you're in that I want to write mode, and you can't get to it because whatever reason, kids, whatever. Do you get
Because the kids get in the way. They still want feeding. They're just not bothered that I want to be making shit up and writing it down. They still want feeding, which is rude.
Shocking, that, isn't it? You can feel
I know. But yeah, when I'm in the zone, I will do a lot of words, and it's weird when you're sort of like in that fugue state when you're writing, and it's dead easy to get into it because you sort of don't really remember what you've written. And then when you come back the next day, you're like, that was really good. And I think I read somewhere that it's like accessing the subconscious part of your brain a little bit when you're zombified and you're just tapping away. You are the vessel of the story.
That flow state, isn't it, that they talk about?
Yeah. It's great being there, and I need to get more. This is why I want to do Thrive for 25, even though it's just half an hour, because I know once I get into it, it will be longer than half an hour for myself, and that's where I need to be, really, because I don't want to procrastinate.
No, well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's getting yourself in the chair. Once you're going, but I think if you've just got to do 25 minutes, it's a lot easier than I need to do like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Even though you probably will end up doing 2 hours.
Yeah, especially when you're getting into the flow of things, but also we don't want to say Thrive for 25 2 hours a day because that's
could you imagine?
Yeah, it's too much pressure on other people who would care to join us, and they just wouldn't do it, So yeah, 25 minutes a day. Make your brew, and instead of going on Reels or TikTok or whatever, just do a little bit of writing.
Yeah.
I do plan to do that.
Not even writing, but at least just going into your manuscript, even if you're reading or you're editing.
Well, yeah. Anything that's getting you in that mindset of this is, any righty thing, like editing and just thinking about what you're going to be doing next. Thrive for 25 could be staring out of the window, just going, yeah, because it is still
writing.
Yeah, it's still writing.
I like the thing that Neil Gaiman does, because I challenged myself once to write like Neil Gaiman, but like his writing rules. And one of them is he has like a little gazebo at the bottom of his garden where he goes to write, and he has however set many hours to write, and he's allowed to do nothing or he can write, but he's not allowed to do anything else. So he could sit there for the whole 3 hours, or he can write. So I think that'd be good to do for the 25 minutes. Like you can do nothing for 25 minutes, or you can write for 25 minutes. Because what he says is that you will eventually get bored and start writing.
Because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. You don't have his phone with him or anything, or his laptop, because he writes by hand, which is cool.
Yeah. I think everyone starts off by writing by hand.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not these days if you're new to it, but certainly if you've been writing stories since you were a kid, it's by hand. You just have reams of little stories that you used to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's your writing routine, generally speaking?
So I get up dead early, because my house is super busy, so I get up before everyone else. So I'm up about 5ish. And then I write till about 8.
Yeah.
I aim for about 3,000 words a day. I usually log into the app for the words, because there's a little group of people that are also online at the same time. I think they're American because it's always bedtime for them. And I jump in their group and we kind of have a battle and we just write words. And that's how my day starts. And then I've got I've done nearly 5,000 words today, so my word count's done regardless of whatever I do today I've written.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, mine's a little bit similar when it's happening. In that sense, it's not really a routine. It's get up at 5 a.m, come down to this cold little writing shack with the dog and bang it out for 2 hours. And my aim is 2,000 words, which I usually hit. And it's weird, once I've done that, the rest of the day is just, it seems like I can achieve more and I'm more productive with other sides of stuff when I've got those words in.
Yeah.
Because it's done, it's in the bank kind of thing.
I definitely think it works like that. Like if you've ticked off that of your day, you're on top of the world by then, because you're like, I've got my words, and everything else is great.
And being a writer, that is the most important bit.
Yeah. And I actually have to have, I don't know if you use anything, but because my brain likes to, when I'm writing, it'll throw random questions at me, like, how do seagulls pee? And my brain wants to go and look it up. So I have to use the self-control app that blocks everything.
Yeah, I've had that, especially when I've been writing my divine books. So I've started, at the moment, I'm writing a scene that is set in Sachsenhausen, the concentration camp in Berlin, in the outskirts of Berlin, and it's during World War II, 1940. So I've been there, so I can picture it in my head, which is great and stuff. But if there's something that I need, some little bit of information, I'll go online and I'll spend 3 hours reading about concentration camps. Which is, and then I'll even forget what I needed for the one sentence that I needed it for,
And then you go back to your words and you're like, I didn't even get the answer. You've got to go back.
Yeah. But ask me anything about World War II concentration camps, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah. I also do a thing. I have. I started doing it actually when I was doing one of the nanos. I put a piece of paper next to me when I'm writing. So when my brain throws these random... I don't know if your brain does it, but mine does. It will literally throw the most stupid things. Oh, remember, you've got to do this. Remember to do that. So I'll write it down next to me. And then when I've actually finished my writing session, I'll go through this list. Most of it's crap.
Right.
Yeah.
So you do that just to stop the...
just to stop me going...
in the flow.
Yeah, just to stop myself going off. It was the other day... it was a couple of weeks ago. I was happily writing away and I was stuck a little bit on the scene. And it was like, oh, I wonder if they've got the Christmas pyjamas up on offer yet. So off I went, hour later when I've done a lot of Christmas shopping, and then back, I'm like, I'm supposed to be writing.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff I'll now write down on a piece of paper next to me. And then I can
probably a good idea.
Go and face the paper later. And I usually, by the time I get to it, I'm not interested anymore.
No. Yeah, I'd like to write more. I mean, for me next year, I've got my publishing plan for my books sewn up. I spent many procrastinating hours doing a Marvel-like publication timeline
Mm.
for both pen names, which was a lot of fun, and it meant I didn't have to write, so I could beat myself up later. But I've sort of, I know where I'm going for next year. So any words I get in, I've got two of my books that I'm publishing next year, and I need to finish. I need to start one of them. Would be helpful as well, but which is not much. That's 500 words a day
Yeah.
to just to do that. So any other words that I get in is it's just extra. It's not next year, so the pressure's off for me, which is great because when I start feeling a bit of pressure, I get really overwhelmed, and then I do stupid things like taking all my books down for a laugh
And start again.
and starting again. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the reasons that I'm looking forward to Thrive for 25. Just
Yeah.
and we're going to write a book together, are we not?
Yeah.
So have you collaborated with other authors before?
Yeah, I've collaborated. My secret pen name has collaborated with another author, which was cool. And
Right.
I've got an urban fantasy series, which is a collaboration. Yeah, it's cool. I've done two different ways as well. Like it was a trilogy under my other pen name, and we each wrote. It was basically a romance. So we wrote one of the people each.
Yeah.
So that worked really well, and it was great because we didn't write it for the readers. We wrote it. It became a game of who could leave who on the worst cliffhanger in the end of our chapter, so the next person had to pick it up. But I think that made it more interesting for the reader because we were just trying to drive each other nuts.
Just better each other.
Yeah, it was like who could leave each other on the shittiest part for the next person to pick it up. But then,
So when you collaborated, did you? Well, I imagine you plotted, otherwise the book would
no,
be.
we didn't. We didn't
You
at
didn't.
all. It was literally a pants thing, which is why it was more fun. So like when we got to the end of the chapter and we left him in the characters in it like a predicament, the other one literally had no idea where to go. So then they made up their thing, and then they got into the next thing. Did you ever, when you were a kid, play those games where you wrote a line of a story and you folded the sheet over and you read it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of what it was like. But
Yeah.
we'd send the chapter to each other, and then we'd just be like pissing ourselves laughing because the other one's now got to get out of this mess.
Yeah. I've got an author buddy, and he collaborated in a thriller book with a friend of his, an author friend of his, and exactly the same thing. Although I think they did plot it a bit because it's a bit of a psychological thriller, and one of them was one character, and the other was the other character, and it does work quite. It works really well because you do get the distinct voices of the characters because two different people are writing.
Yeah.
Which leads me on to, for Thrive for 25, what genre are we going to be writing in, Rachel?
Well, I like the fantasy stuff.
Fantasy. What
Yeah.
sort of? Because that's a very overarching genre, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't mind anything. I like magic things, werewolf things, vampire things.
Right.
I like anything that's, I don't know, anything that's not real. Like my favourite movies are your Harry Potters and your Lord of the Rings, and so they're both fantasy, but they're both completely different.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't mind. I mean, I've written in a lot of genres. I've only published in two, but I've written in quite a few genres. So anything really. I do predominantly write in first person, just because I like that. I like being behind the eyes of the character, being the character kind of thing.
Yeah.
But my first 5 or 6 books that I wrote when I was a kid, teenager, were all third person, and one book that I'm writing at the moment is going back to third person, and it feels really alien,
Yeah.
because I've written 20 books all in first person, so it's a bit weird. What would you like to write in? What
See, I like first person. Yeah, I think when
First.
we're growing up, I think most books are written in third person, aren't they? Children's books. I think that's why everyone starts in third person.
Yeah, like that
And then,
overarching narrator.
yeah, and then you read a book by someone who's done it in first person. You're like, this is really cool, and you try it
Yeah.
and you discover it. Because I like them all. At the moment, I'm writing one that's in first person present tense, which is fun.
That's what I write all mine in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there you go. We'll
it's
just do first person present tense.
first brilliant. That's I can jump into that really easily. Yeah, with with I don't know with first person present, you are literally behind the reader is behind the eyes of the character, and I
Yeah.
think in the feel closer to it, I've certainly had readers reach out and say, after they finished the book, it feels like there's something missing
Yeah.
for them because they got so involved with the character, and yeah, it's a great way to write, I think.
Yeah.
So yes, for our book that we're going to do, it's going to be fantasy, and it's going to be first person present. Agreed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And are we pantsing it?
I mean, I usually pants it. I mean, we can have an idea of what it is.
Let's sort this idea out right now. So we're going to go first person present, going to go fantasy. What sort of fantasy?
What fantasy do you like?
I mean, I've always done. I've got a series. It's set in. It's urban fantasy, isn't it? When it's set in the real world, kind of thing.
Mm.
And it's high fantasy when it's
Lord of the Rings
uh,
is high fantasy.
when it's Lord of the Rings or the Shire, yeah, the kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Where that's the whole world's fantasy. So like Harry Potter, that's urban fantasy, portal fantasy.
Yeah.
I like portal fantasy.
So you go into. So it's both, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess it starts off with as urban fantasy and then
Goes-
jumps over to the high.
Yeah.
Should we do that then? Portal fantasy.
Yeah, where they go into a
A bit
magic
of both.
world. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. I think. What's it going to be about? Are we just going to start writing
I don't
and
know.
then?
See, this is how stories are born. You're literally like, what can I mash together?
Yeah, and the idea, the reason why we're going to do this collaboration is so it's basically grounded in 5 for 25. So we'll write a book together. We'll talk about it on air, and then when it's done, we'll be able to go through the whole publishing process step by step in granular detail, which I love, and you can follow along then. As certainly if you're not sure where you're going. I imagine that I'll be about 5,000 words into my half of the book, and Rachel will be starting on the sequel already. So there might be a bit of an overlap, but other than that, it should be fun.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to do 2 characters and then alternating chapters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I guess they'll have to meet at some point.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna follow your lead here, and wait until you've written the first chapter, and then I'll jump on it,
Yeah.
and I guess we can update every week about that.
Yeah. And it's just 25 minutes a day on that book.
Just just 25 minutes. So you can only get that's about 3,000 words for you, isn't it?
If I'm dictating.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was dictating this morning. I was on the For the Words, and I was dictating, and the goal was set for 1,600 words. So the word count, you both work towards the word count. So, the whole team works towards the word count, and
Right.
the goal between us was 1,600 words. And because I was dictating, I did it in like the whole thing in 20 minutes. So I had to apologise because I basically didn't give them any chance to get the words down.
And you've got others agonising over a word.
And I was
No,
like,
it's all right. Finished now. See you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
yeah. The advantage of that is if they know that they've got, because the people I go with, there's another one that dictates as well, so they know if they've got us both in and we're dictating, they choose monsters that have got like 10,000 word counts.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you told me about that. Is it that purple? What's it called again?
Yeah, For the Words. It's so much
For the
fun.
words.
I discovered it off. I don't know if you've heard of Lyra Parish. She's got a YouTube channel called the Courtney Project.
Right.
She used it, and I was struggling to write, and she recommended it. And since joining that, because I'm a gamer, it just really went
Yeah,
into what I do.
you're sort of in that mindset. You want to win, so you're
Yeah,
getting the words down.
yeah, you do.
Yeah, I remember you told me about it, and I tried it, but I just, it was something stupid like when it didn't indent for me
Yeah,
when I was starting a new paragraph, and that just annoyed me straight away. And so I was, yeah, any excuse not to write.
I write in it, and then I'll copy and paste it into my Google Doc, and
Yeah,
then I'll just highlight and format the whole Google Docs, and then it's indented, so I get over that.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's
cool.
because I don't care about writing a clean first draft. I've taught myself to just get the words down.
Yeah. How? Yeah. I mean, when I do it, when I do my first draft, it's sort of basically what's going to be
Hmm.
on the page kind of thing, when it's published. Uh, and when I start my second chapter, the next chapter the next day, I read through all that. So I'm editing as I go. So by the time I get to the end of the book, it's pretty clean from me, the author's perspective. And then I do one more read through. But you just Blair, just get it all out.
See, if you saw even any draft, mine is the messiest thing ever. It's full of type. I don't backspace. I don't fix typos. I literally just write. And
Yeah,
so
I think
it's an absolute mess.
my missus reckons I've got a bit of OCD, and yeah, that would. I don't think I have, but maybe I have. I don't know. But that, yeah, I wouldn't. I would. That'd stop me writing as well.
Yeah.
Just
I don't think many people can write and leave the errors in. I think it's just something managed to teach myself, and I can just do
yeah.
it.
But at the same time, you get the words down that way, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and now we have good old AI who I can just feed it into and say, please fix all my typos. And it does.
Yeah. Skynet, it's
Yeah,
just getting better and better, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. So I really like it for that.
Yeah. I mean, when I was editing last week's episode, I just needed to press a magic button on the on Riverside, and then it pulled out all these little clips, and that would have been three. I think it was 10 little clips. So it went through the whole episode, so like the best bits basically, and they had loads of social media clips for social media, and it's like that would have taken hours.
Yeah,
And
because you would
Skynet has just done it in 30 seconds. It's
yeah,
brilliant.
and you'd have agonised over which bits you wanted to pull out.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do a little bit of editing on them, but just listen through, and it took me a minute for each one just to edit
Yeah,
it. And it was brilliant. I love Skynet until it kills us all. It's
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah,
I like it. I like AI for all the tools they've got.
yeah,
I really like using. I don't know if you've ever used Notebook LM yet, but you can throw your whole book into it and ask it questions.
yes, yeah.
And if
Uh,
you're like me and you write a 20,
Hemrick, he author we both know. He told me about it. I think it was Joanna Penn's podcast. He heard it on,
right?
and and he's always sending me things like that. Like, oh, check this out, check that out. And I did, and it was I threw my whole book into it, and then asked it to write a blurb, and it was weird, and also a summary. And what it came out with, I never realised that was even in my book. So it's quite interesting to see what Skynet thought of it.
Yeah, I found it handy because, and don't do like I did, but I wrote a 22 book series, and I didn't have a series Bible. So
Right.
when I'm at the end and I want to tie it all together, and I can't remember what happened in book 3, you know.
Yeah.
So I put all my books into Notebook LM and literally got it to give me a chapter by chapter summary.
That's
And
right.
it was,
And can it like make character profiles and stuff like that?
oh yeah,
Or,
it did everything. I was like, give me the key characters, give me what they look like, give me their ages and all this, that and the other. It does. And then I cheated and I used Speechify and got it to read it all back to me, so I could just listen about my book.
Yeah. Well, that's but yeah, Notebook KM. I need to. I forgot what it was called. I did that, and then obviously I didn't save it to my bookmarks, and
Yeah.
it's got three of my books in there. So I need
Yeah.
to, yeah,
Yeah, it's
I need
not
to.
Notebook LM, it's Google's thing. There's another new one, I don't know if you've seen that come out, and it's by Publish Drive, where you can upload your book and it will spit out all the metadata for Amazon. You know, your keywords, your categories, it will give you blurb, it will do everything to get your book
Yeah.
ready. It'll even give you 6 covers.
And that's from Publish Drive, is it?
Publish Drive, yeah, and it's free. Although you have to buy credits. So it gives you so many free credits so you can mess with it, and then if you want to pay for it, you can buy credits and use them.
That's great. I need to start testing all these things because when we come to publishing our Thrive for 25 book, this is the kind of stuff that we can go over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. But we've gone off on a tangent like we do.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's what this podcast is about, isn't it? It's just all waffle. So what's your plans for this week?
I'd like to actually finish my bloody book nearly at the end. So it's usually always a 20,000 word goal.
Yeah. I've just started thinking. It's dead easy, that bit, isn't it? I've just started thinking about what I want to do with my Divine series. Is I want to have the holiday books kind of thing. So I want one for Easter. I want one for Christmas. I want one for Halloween, and then also I was chatting to an American buddy of mine, and I think he was telling me a few stories about Thanksgiving. So I think I'd have one for the 4th of July. So 25,000 word novellas, and I want to do 4 of those this year. So I'm just having to think about them at the moment. The first one being Easter, and I've got the it's called Resurrection, and I've done the cover already. So that's definitely a thing. And now I'm just thinking about whose point of view it'll be from, because I haven't introduced the big bad into the series yet, and I'm 5 books deep, so I need to start niggling him in, kind of thing. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of staying out of the window dribbling this week, and also designing the cover for the book. I'm not writing, I'm just thinking about
Procrastinating.
yes. Although I've got my ultimate procrastination now, because there's no internet really here, and I'm running it off my phone. I'm going to do out the loft into a little podcasting space, and I love to build and stuff, so that's my January procrastination thing, up and down into a loft just for somewhere else. So there will be an episode where all of a sudden I'm just in this dark, horrible place behind me with spiders hanging down, which is fun. And not writing once again.
And not writing, yeah. But you've got to do 25 words because you've got to write on our book.
25 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And what date are we going to start that on? The 1st?
Yeah.
So, do you go out New Year's Eve?
No.
Oh, well, you'll be all right then, won't you?
Am I starting then so you can have a hangover?
So, when I do it,
working,
25 minutes, I'll drag myself out of bed on New Year's Day at some point and try and figure out words and how to spell, and I'll get my 25 minutes in.
Yeah.
I can't promise most of it will be not drinking loads of water and popping paracetamol, but I'll get those 25 minutes in.
Will you not be working on New Year's Eve?
No. No. I'll be going out. I haven't been out for ages for New Year's Eve, actually. Because I've been pub tradie for so many years. You see the other side of it and you're like, nah. But she wants to go out this year.
Yeah.
So we're going to find a little pub that's doing karaoke all night. And I'm going to turn into Louis Capaldi.
Yeah, I've not been out for New Year's Eve for years.
So do you just watch Do you do it though, like until
No,
midnight and stuff?
because I play games and I'm a complete geek and I play Warcraft. I'm
Uh,
usually playing on there. And
yeah,
they usually
and I
watch.
mean, do you have like a little comments thing, like with people commenting and stuff when you're playing the games?
Yeah, yeah. I assume you've never looked at Warcraft. It's an MMO, so it's
Right.
like everybody's playing it all live at the same time. So all your little characters are other people and other players.
Yeah.
And yeah, so everyone's just like, there's all New Year stuff going on in this little in the world on there. So yeah, I'm usually playing that, and then we've got the Big Ben stuff on the TV.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna the website is up and running now, even though we're recording this at the beginning of December. So we've got a few episodes to push out on the 27th, on Friday the 27th. The website's up and running now, and if you'd like to be part of Thrive for 25, just go on the website, which is www.indieauthorroadmap.net. And I've put there's about 10 different sign up boxes, so you can't miss them. Sign up and sign up to all our socials, and we'll follow us on there as well as the podcast. And if you've got any writing friends that you think might enjoy me and Rachel waffling for 36 minutes and counting, then let them know.
Yeah.
So the first episode was about 48 minutes long.
Yeah.
How long do you think we should do these for?
I don't know.
Until we run out of steam every week.
Well, I think most podcasts are anything to about half an hour, aren't they? To 45 minutes. But then I've seen people do ones that go to an hour. I don't think they go over the hour, do they?
Yeah. So we're doing around that, about 45 minutes this.
Do we want to mention the 100-day writing challenge in this one?
Yes. So as part of Thrive for 25, we're going to start off with the 100-day writing challenge, because although the likes of NaNoWriMo's great, 30 days, it just feels like a bit of a sprint, and that's not what writing is. Writing's a marathon. And so 100 days is a lot better and a lot more realistic to get yourself into that writing routine, so all of a sudden it's part of your day. So apparently on the 1st of January we'll be starting a 100-day writing challenge, and it'd be great for you to join in. Are we going to do it mostly on Facebook, do you think? I mean, I'll put,
yeah, and we'll do some accountability.
yeah.
Yeah. 100 days of being in your book. So editing, writing, reading it, researching it. Just it's 100 days of something, a step.
Yeah. I mean, we'll be doing it as well, obviously, and but I mean, ours will probably just be getting the words down, won't it? For those 25 minutes. But yeah, it doesn't have to be the words. It can be just thinking about it. It could be editing what you've done before. Just being in front of that story is the main focus on that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And there's did you put the blog post up? Is that alright?
No, I'm going to do. I'm going to do that in a minute.
Because we can link that down under the notes.
Yeah. So if you go to www.indieauthorroadmap.net, we're going to have a weekly blog, and it was Rachel's turn to do it. In fact, by the time we're going, there'll be about 5 or 6 blog posts, won't there? And it was Rachel's turn this week, number 2, and it just explains everything in a bit more detail, the mindset and stuff with writing, with doing it consistently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I did 300-day challenges last year, and I found them a load of fun. You can't actually see on my wall, but I've got behind me I've got this chart that's got the whole year in days, and then 100 days marked off, and I had to give myself a score every day because I'm weird.
How many words did you end up doing?
It wasn't a words thing, so it was like I had 6 things that I wanted to do every day, and I gave myself a number between 1 and 6. So if I got 1, I wrote 1, and I wanted to get at least 5s on every day. So it was like write every day, read every day, journal, exercise, purposeful social media, so not mindless scrolling. So I did that for myself, but it was really cool. So
That's cool.
with our 100-day writing challenge, I'll probably do that again. So I've got my 6 things because I just enjoy that.
Yeah, because we both did the 100-day writing challenge. Was it for
It was
Wide
20
for the Win?
I think so. It's 2022 because I
Yeah.
remember we went off to Vegas just as it started, and
Just as it started, yeah.
and because I had the week in Vegas, I didn't write for that week. And then when I came back from Vegas, I had conference flu, so I didn't write for the week when I came back. And then we were into Christmas, so for me it fell apart. But I remember you having TikToks where you were updating, which was really cool.
Yeah, I was doing. I think that was TikTok was kind of like my accountability buddy with that. And yeah, I was updating most day. I was updating every day at the beginning because I was into it, and then later on it was a bit less frequent. And I did really, yeah, I think I did about 300,000 words in those. Yeah, I was pretty consistent. Unfortunately, I was swapping and changing because I've got 1 million works in progress, and to keep it interesting for me. So I literally, even with those 300,000 words, I didn't finish a novel. I just wrote more with a lot more books, which is good. It's still getting myself into that mindset and getting the words down. So yeah, it was the 100, the Thrive for 25 minutes in 25, and the 100-day writing challenge, which will bring us to April, won't it?
Yeah, beginning of April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you've written 500 words for the 100 days, how many is that going to be? Check my calculator out. It's going to be
2 zeros. Add 2 zeros.
Yeah, it's going to be 50,000, isn't it?
50,000, yeah.
Yeah,
But you're not just going to.
Which is
So that's a 100,000 word novel.
yeah,
That
but
we'll have.
yeah, but I mean, if people following along doing 500 words a day for 100 days in their 25 minutes, 50,000 words is a small novel.
Yeah.
That,
and also, I think once you get into it, you're not just going to be writing for 25, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
When all these ideas are zooming around, you're going to end up writing more than 500 words.
Yeah.
And then definitely at the end, when you've got only a few chapters in sight, you're going to be hammering it.
Yeah. But
So
I think for the Thrive part of the 25 challenge, we have to. I don't know about you, but I'm an overachiever. If I say I'm going to do 500 words, I'm like, no, I'm going to do 1,000. That's just my personality type. So sometimes I have to remind myself that it's okay to actually just write 500 words.
I think because we're both experienced writers, I mean, and we're sort of catering to the new writer. So the 500 words is achievable, and so for us to come on and go, oh, I've written 3,000 words, because that's what we do any day of the week, it could be a bit like, oh, well, they're writing that and I'm not, so they'll give up. So that's why it's 500 words.
Yeah.
I will probably write more than that, but I will just keep within the 25-minute frame for the book that we're going to do.
Yeah. But it's also alright to write less than 500 words in the 25 minutes.
As long as it's 25 minutes is the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although you can't start the clock when you flip the kettle on. It's when you sit down with your brew.
Yeah, sit down with your book. And that you can be literally with a piece of paper and you just do one of those spider diagrams we used to do when we were kids. That even counts. Brainstorming.
Yeah.
It's all in your work. It's all on the book.
It's all there, yeah. It's all in the book, and that's what matters. Just staying focused on the story you want to write.
Yeah. So I will send you 500 words of our book, and I'll get back that you spent 25 minutes designing the cover, and you'll be like, well, I spent 25 minutes on the book.
Yeah. I'll have a title. I'll have a title and blurb,
Yeah.
but I won't have a character.
Yeah.
You're not going to send me 500 words, though, are you? You're going to send me about 3 chapters. We go, right, well, this is where I'm thinking we're going.
Are we going to do alternate chapters? Like,
Yeah.
my character, your character, yeah.
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 So, I mean, it's sort of going to be 2 separate books at the beginning until we figure out what the fuck the book's about,
Yeah.
number one, and also when they actually start interacting. I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to have the first 500 words done for the next time we meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You're gonna text me in about 20 minutes now, aren't you?
Yeah. Are we going to share it as we're writing it anywhere, or are we just going to publish it?
Yeah. Let's share it. Let's
You,
set up
you set us up a Patreon, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, I set up a Patreon, and yeah, that could be one of the things, couldn't it? You know,
Yeah.
we could be releasing the chapters on there. The Patreon link and stuff, if you'd like to have a look at our collaboration, will be in the show notes, and it will be on YouTube. It will be at the bottom bit. And yeah, come and follow along. We'll definitely put it on. That's a great idea, Rachel. It's almost like you've done this before, eh?
I know, right? Amazing.
Yeah, let's start. And also because we're going to be about 4 or 5 episodes in, there's going to be quite a bit of book there, isn't there? When you get to it, because we're talking a few weeks in the past at the moment.
Yeah, and there should be episodes up. Depending on it, yeah, because this will go out 27th-ish, won't it? So
Yeah, we're gonna put a few out on the 27th,
yeah,
and then it'll be once a week.
yeah.
Yeah. Right, we've hit that 47-minute mark. Guess that's it for this week. Nice little chat about 5 for 25, and everybody needs to sign up and join us and say hello. Definitely say hello. Don't be scared. We're very approachable people.
Yeah.
Even if I am very sarcastic, I'm only joking. See you next week, Rachel.